4 days left until the election. Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are both headed to the battleground states of Ohio and Pennsylvania. The latest CBS News New York Times poll shows that Hillary Clinton is leading Donald Trump 45 to 42% in a four-way matchup.
In that same poll, 82% of registered voters say they feel disgusted about the 2016 election. CBS News contributor Bob Schieffer is in Washington. Bob, good morning. You heard that number, the number of people that are disgusted. I'm wondering who's not disgusted.
Well, exactly. And why shouldn't they be? Here we have, dangerous times, the threat of terrorism, the government in total gridlock. It took 8 months to even approve funds for finding a Zika vaccine. And yet we have a campaign that's been all about sex tapes and things that normally aren't even discussed in mixed company.
Yeah, Bob, what's the long-term
too.
effect of disgust? Yeah, everybody you meet on the street is saying, how much longer, how much longer?
Yeah.
It's 4 days. What is the long-term impact of disgust? That's such a strong word.
I think one of the main things that whoever wins this election is going to have to do is to begin to try to repair the damage that's been done to the system by this campaign itself. I mean, this thing has not helped anybody, and it has made the country more divided than ever. It has made the split between whites and non-whites wider than ever. This is something that's brought out the dark side of America, and we've got to find a way to get back on track here. And number one, get the government running again. We have all these charges, people saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. First thing we've got to do is figure out some way after this election to get the two sides working together again. Never in the history of this country has one party or one person been able to get everything done and do it by themselves. You always have to have the help of the other side. I mean, look at Lyndon Johnson and the Civil Rights Acts. He had to find ways to work with the other party. So far, this election events nothing along that line, and no hint as to how they're going to work together.
Bob, with all that's happened in the last week, where do you see the momentum 4 days out now?
Well, if you'd have asked me who's going to win this election 10 days ago, it was beginning, at least I was beginning to come to the belief that Hillary Clinton was going to win. Her path seemed much wider than Donald Trump. But since the latest email drop, we've seen this thing begin to close. At this point, I have no idea who's going to win it. It's going to come down to a couple of key states. Probably North Carolina would be one of the most important right now. But I don't think you can call a winner right now.
And what about the early vote, Bob? I mean, this is something historically that has changed. You have more and more people voting early. That tends to favor organization, right?
Yes, it does. And I think that is one of the things that if Hillary Clinton wins this election, I think we'll look back and say it was because she did have this good organization. She has much more organization than Donald Trump has had at all, and it has brought out a big early vote. Generally speaking, an early vote would favor the Democrats because there are more Democrats than Republicans. But again, we can't make any predictions about this thing. The one thing we know about this year, Nora, is that predictions have never been very good. So it's going to be one of those. We always say, gosh, why do we have to have all these polls and things? Why can't we leave it to the voters? Let's have an exciting election night. Believe me, we're about to have one.
Yeah. All right. 4 days and counting. Thank you very much, Bob Schieffer. Always good to see you.
Always good to see you. Thank you. And CBS News will bring you results on election night as they come in. Our coverage begins Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central.